The Weirdness is the fourth studio album by American proto-punk band The Stooges. It was released on March 6, 2007. It is the first studio album of new material the Stooges have released since Raw Power, and is also the final album to feature Ron Asheton, who died in early 2009. The album features founding members Iggy Pop, Ron Asheton, and Scott Asheton along with new band member Mike Watt, formerly of Minutemen, and returning guest musician Steve Mackay, who appeared on the Stooges' 1970 album, Fun House. Recording: the album was recorded by Steve Albini at his Electrical Audio studio in Chicago, Illinois during October 2006, and was mastered at Abbey Road Studios in London, England in December. Bassist Mike Watt posted a day-by-day diary of the recording sessions on his website, but this was deleted without explanation. Watt referred to the album's title as Secret Plan in his diary entries. According to Watt's online diary, the songs recorded during the sessions included a finalized version of My Idea of Fun, and a cover of the Beatles' I Wanna Be Your Man, while a November 20 article on the album, derived mainly from an interview with Pop, also gives the following song titles as appearing on the album: Trollin', ATM, You Can't Have Friends, The Weirdness, and Greedy Awful People. Further titles were announced in December after the album was mastered, and the final track listing was announced by Virgin Records on January 30, 2007. Release: 2 singles, My Idea of Fun, and Free and Freaky, were released on the iTunes Store on February 20, 2007. The album was also released as a vinyl LP with 4 bonus tracks. My Idea of Fun was performed on the reality television show BAM's Unholy Union. Reception: the album received mixed reception, but mostly negative. According to the aggregate review website Metacritic, the album received a score of 44, which indicates mixed reception, from 32 critic scores. Pitchfork gave the album an exceptionally low 1.0/10 rating, writing that it hideously disgraces the band's original work. Pop Matters wrote, like every other inferior album by a defunct cult band that has unexpectedly reunited, it is a danger to the band's legacy. Every assessment or endorsement of the Stooges must now be made with a weirdness somewhere in the equation, and most fans will no doubt reference it with either apology or dismissal. Exactly why was this album made? Drowned in Sound wrote, devoid of inspiration, lacking in any edge, this is pathetic. BBC Music, on the other hand, wrote, fast, tight, and ready for action, the weirdness is entertaining, exuberant and fun. Mojo called the album a brash, modern-sounding rock record that also sounds more vital than most bands' 40 years. The Stooges Jr. Track listing: all songs written and composed by Iggy Pop, Ron Asheton, and Scott Asheton, except where noted. Personnel: The Stooges, Iggy Pop Euro vocals, Ron Asheton Euro guitar, Scott Asheton Euro drums, Mike Watt Euro bass guitar. Guest musicians: Steve Mackay Euro saxophone, Brendan Benson Euro backing vocals on Free and Freaky. Production: Steve Albini Euro engineering, Nick Webber Euro mastering, Chris Wojcicki Euro technical assistants, Rob Vesta Euro assistant engineer, Henry McGrogan Euro production coordination, Eric Fisher Euro production coordination, Sean Moshe Smith Euro art direction and design, Chapman Babila Euro photography, Robert Matthew Euro photography. Charts. References. External links: The Weirdness at Discogs.